Gunnar, Frankfurt Airport is effectively the world premiere of the new Heinmann duty-free store. It launches Heinmann onto an international stage at one stroke. What is the background to the launch of the Heinmann brand?
Well, we are a family company since 130 years in the business. We have started the first three generations being basically in the distribution. And we have succeeded in bringing our values and our way to do business towards our customers, our distribution customers. The reputation we have achieved in that business, we want to achieve also with our many customers who come to our stores and they see us as a retailer and they have not identified the retailer Heinemann. And we want them that they identify, they know where they are. They are at Heinemann.
So there are clear commercial reasons then for extending the Heinmann brand and the new look to all your stores?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a clear commercial background in that. We want to achieve a better penetration. We want to achieve a better per capita spending. We want to achieve to create a retailing experience for the consumer that they look for the same store everywhere, and they want to be at Heinemann. It has to be Heinemann where they want to shop. What does it mean for our landlords? Well, it means for our landlords that we, hopefully, with this concept, make more out of the potential they are giving us. They're giving us space, they are giving us location, and they're giving us traffic. But we must make the most out of that potential. And we believe with the Heinemann brand we can do far better.
So how would you then define the essence of the Heinemann brand? What's your view of its defining points?
Well, I think it's all about service. We should be a service-minded group of people. We should be surprising. We should bring something on the stage, on the Heinemann stage inside the store, which people do not expect when they come into a duty-free shop. We should be more than a duty-free offer. Of course, we should be conscious on the right pricing. We should give everyone a fair deal, but there should be much more than that. And there should be a personal touch, which people can get only at a Heinemann store and nobody else.
Well, clearly Fraport have bought into the launch of the Heinemann brand here in Frankfurt, but arguably there are two groups that may still need to be convinced. Firstly, the suppliers who are seeing their brands effectively subjugated to the umbrella brand that is now Heinemann Duty Free, and also I guess the customers. What have there been respective responses to date?
It is something that suppliers need to understand. If they see the duty-free channel as a fantastic business opportunity, they understand what we mean and what we want to achieve. Because at the end of the day, it is all a business proposition. It is all about making more out of the potential.
And the customer response as well, how's that faring?
We receive compliments for the shop design, for the choice, for the surprising elements, for the regional elements, for the service, whatever. But that is not important. Really important is when we achieve that we get compliments for the service-minded staff, for the friendliness, for the culture inside the store, the experience.
And those compliments are actually being translated into an increase in average passenger spend?
Yes, absolutely.
Home base is Germany, of course, but you also have ambitions to roll out the Heinmann brand onto an international basis, therefore competing with other global players.
That's true. I think everybody knows that we're very strong in Europe. Many locations we have in Europe. We will roll out the brand nationally and then Europe-wise. But of course we have more ambitions. We want to grow. For example, we have opened our Singapore office recently. We want to learn in this marketplace and we want to grow. We want to achieve something there. And there we believe, with all the experience we have got in Europe in the meantime, with the brand, the effects, and we can prove it, it is a competitive advantage for us to go into any other place.
Raoul, how definitive is this store in terms of the Heinemann brand, and what do you see as the core principles and development of each store within the group?
Well, first of all, each store will also in the future be a different store. There should not be one system or one concept. Yes, we have a clear concept which we have put in Frankfurt after the pilot store in Hamburg, first time alive. It includes all elements which a brand can deliver on 850 square meters. But nevertheless, if you see Hamburg, it was a shop which is very open. Here we have much more back walls. Every shop has to be developed in a certain way. And a certain way must always include the customer. Here in Frankfurt, we are in the international Hall B, so we have a lot of international customers, that means profile. And the other stuff is, of course, the infrastructure of the terminal, which is always different and demands a new approach, even if we have our brand concept. If you see the three core values of the brand, it's surprise, it's service, it's personality. And this is, of course, a concept which has to be under every Heinemann roof in the future. We have included a special service counter here. This special stuff is only taking care for service, be it things which are not on the shelves, which can be ordered, be it to pick up your pre-order. Is it something you want to have delivered at home? Is it any question around the airport? Because often people come as well and consider our stuff to know where is which gate, and it's also information actually, which is a good additional service. We have the areas of surprise. At this stage, a special promotion with Clarins, airport exclusive. The frame for this is, it has to be Heinemann. That means it must be a special element in a cooperation with a supplier that is at this stage only available at Heinemann stores. And we have fragrances here from Clarins, which are only available in their boutiques and nowhere else worldwide in travel retail.
Oh, it's a glorious promotion, and they clearly spent a lot of time thinking through it. And you see Heinemann Choice still very, very strongly branded everywhere in the store.
Yeah, I mean the concept is overall to have 80% of high-class traditional duty-free shop. This is normal and this is innovation. And of course the 20%, the Heinemann Choice areas, these are the areas on which we will play every 4 weeks, every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, depending on the terminal, always something very special. And actually this is the most learning we have done over the last month. Is not does the gondola work, does the back wall work. I mean, we were in retail before, but the change in the process of the company, from purchasing to bringing these new stages into life, the marketing around it, new products, a mixed concept and so on, this is really a development further, which includes everybody in the Heinemann team.
Let's just walk the store and see it in detail as the passenger would.
Yeah. If you enter, first of all, you have some free space. We decided not to push the merchandise too much forward against the main hall. They should have easy access. Then you have a clear walkway and you have clear categories. Perfume in black, cosmetic in white, liquor in the special granite material, chocolate in the special chocolate material. So the categories are easy to identify. One core basic service which we have to give is time. Easy orientation, fast decision. We are in airport retail, people are in a hectic way. You see it here around Frankfurt. There's a lot of people under time pressure, so it should be easy to decide what you find. This was also the reason why we changed in perfume, after, of course, a lot of discussion, into the direction of category before brand. Here you see in Frankfurt also a flexible interpretation of that, because still we have heroes. You see Dior and Chanel with a special space. That means we are highlighting brands. It's nothing against brands, it's still working with the brands. But it's also, we got a lot of positive comments from a lot of suppliers that, yeah, this is consumer orientation. And when you deliver, and this is a fact, when you deliver 10% more turnover per customer on the same space which we have been before, then the brand is also happy, of course. In the end, it's commercial business.
What's quite clear is that despite the physical constraints in terms of the actual size of the store itself, you've still managed to avoid any clutter here. It still creates a very good visual impact.
Well, I mean, this is an old discussion in retail. How close do you come to the consumer? How much merchandise do you display? A lot of ways are possible. This is our way actually, because we believe we should be there for the consumer, starting with the team. We should not be aggressive. We should be service-minded. And also regarding the merchandising, you should flow in a free way and not be pressed so much. You are pressed a lot at airports actually, time-wise. You are pressed in security and check-in and stuff like this. It's a little bit that you have a little bit more space in this area and you feel well.
Well, everywhere in the store you can see the centrepiece, which is Germany at its best. It's a regional centrepiece, quite spectacular in terms of its execution. But do you think that you might have allocated just a little too much space to it and it's disproportionate against the yield you may get from it?
I can give a clear answer on that. I mean, there's average turnover per square meter in the shop, and the regional area has to reach the average level. Fortunately, we have here a kind of regional assortment which is best of Germany, and what is doing very well is the German wines, for example, also German chocolates. So in this shop especially we have no problem to reach this goal. On the other hand, we want to be spectacular. A regional item has a growing percentage in turnover, and I think this is normal somehow because the development also came from there. All our brands can be bought everywhere in the world, in every duty-free shop, also in ours. These products can only be bought in this duty-free shop, and I think this is a logical development, and then it needs also some space. We had the regional wines before, but they were just sitting in the shelves and people were asking for regional products, so it was a normal development out of the consumer's demand actually.
It does provide a unique sense of place in terms of your overall retail offer.
Yeah, when we decided in the end our design per category, the regionals was over, and how can you design on one design for a regional category? It has to be different according to the region. This is a basic idea. So we always take prominent architects or designers from the region to go into a modern interpretation of a kind of souvenir offer. It should not be any kitsch, any cheap stuff. It should be quality products, and it needs also a quality presentation.
The store itself is a clear signpost as to where you want to take the Heinemann brand, and there's clearly been a tremendous investment of capital here. Has Frankfurt delivered to your expectations?
Yes, it has. It has because, first of all, commercially, penetration and sales per customer. These are the key elements. Sales per customers, same shop, same size, just a new design and a new approach. 10% up sales per customer. Penetration is up, but yeah, we are happy. Of course, business is improving also at Frankfurt Airport. The brand development, I must say, started at the worst time we could do it in Hamburg. Actually, when we opened Hamburg, the crisis came over all of us, and I'm proud to work in a company and have owners who decided in this crisis, this development will not be stopped, it will be invested into a long-term future.
Times can only get better.
Yeah, that's right. Times will get better, and if you talk about Frankfurt, there's Terminal A, also an international terminal, which will be rebuilt and extended in the next years. And we look forward to open 2,000 square meters walk-through shops in Frankfurt. That means finally in Frankfurt we reach the space which we need, and we will be able to deliver much better results. And fortunately, the airport in this new terminal has decided to give us, well, basically what we need. We look forward to that.
Exciting times ahead.
Thank you.
First of all, we met our financial expectations, and we reflect also that the passengers are very satisfied with the new concept, and we are very proud here in Frankfurt to have this fabulous store here in at our airport.
So what then do you think are the defining aspects of your business partnership with Heinemann?
With Heinemann we have a tremendous partnership, and we grow the business here at Frankfurt Airport. So for this around about 24 years we work very close together in order to find the best results for the passenger. This personal relationship between customer and the operator, that I think is the new, and that's also good, is to building up trust.
So to close, Gunnar, if there was one statement that you thought best represented the Heinemann business and brand, what would it be?
For our consumers, for our passengers that come to our store, it should be a home away from home. For our partners and stakeholders, including the consumers, and it's all about brand contents. It should be confidence, trust in the brand, and this kind of trust should not be only at the consumers, at the passengers, but as well as our stakeholders, the landlord. The landlord should trust the brand, that this brand can do better than others.